Shabbat Shalom. When you were a child, did anyone ever ask you this simple question? What are you? I was asked that many times, and I noticed for some of my childhood classmates, it was a very easy question to answer. They said, I'm Italian, most of the time. But for me, I never knew how to answer that. Do you? Did you? How would you have answered as a child? What are you? And how would you answer that question now? Was I Russian? Polish? Latvian? Lithuanian? No. Many of us are from a place whose name changed time after time while our families lived there. We're from every place. We migrated, moved, fled, ran, aspired, strived, survived. We're from all over. But also, simultaneously, it feels like we're from no place. Do you feel Polish? Do you know the language and eat the food and consider it a place where you want to travel back to that feels like home? Probably not. A section of the Passover Seder begins with these words. My father was a wandering Aramean. From that phrase, you know a lot about us. Our parents, our grandparents, our ancestors were wanderers. What kind of wanderers? From where? Yes, from everywhere, from some place. What are you? What are we? We're Jews. And this is why I have long believed that refugeeism is a fundamental aspect of Jewishness. Raise your hand. How many of your ancestors fled here from someplace else? We live in this time of hyper-politics, where everything is politics. Every news article, every post we make, even we ourselves have become political bodies in some ways. And for sure, that is one way to view the world. But there are other ways. And one of those ways is through the lens of basic Jewish values. Remember the stranger, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt. Do not stand idly by the blood of your neighbor. Do not put a stumbling stone before the blind. Remember the widow, the orphan, the stranger. My father was a wandering Aramean. Over and over again, our Tanakh makes its values clear. Apply simple human care for those who are vulnerable in our society. In fact, our Torah has more to say about the proper treatment of strangers than it does with any other set of laws. And that's all before the rabbis start talking about this issue. This is what they have to say about refugeeism. A private path is the width of 4 cubits. A path from one town to another is to have a width of 8 cubits. A public road, 16 cubits. But the road to the cities of refuge, 32 cubits. It means make the road for refugees extra wide. Make it broad, make it open. In fact, make it twice as wide as a normal road. And that's just where they start. Maimonides goes on. He taught, the court is obligated to straighten the roads to the cities of refuge, to repair them and broaden them. Smooth the road, he's saying. Make it have less friction. And he goes on. They must remove all impediments and obstacles. Bridges should be built over any natural barriers so as not to delay one who is fleeing. To be fair, these messages were given about a specific case of someone fleeing for committing an unintentional crime. So we can't apply them broadly and without nuance. But the core value is clear. Treat refugees with basic human dignity. And in fact, go a little farther for them. Make it a little easier and make it obvious that this value is a part of your society. It reminds me of the way we celebrate Hanukkah. It's not enough to simply light the menorah. You have to place it in your window for everyone to see. Advertise the miracle. We must make our beliefs about this issue public as well. I am proud that under the leadership of our Social Action Committee, we have and we are making lives a little easier. Whether it's cooking with migrant families at a local public school, serving those in need through our soup kitchen, or evenings like tonight, I am so proud of us for holding fast to the center of our Jewish values. The bitter experience of forced exile from one's homeland is both ancient and acute for us. For 2,000 years, we suffered through the dangerous and all too often deadly challenge of being strangers in lands that are not our own. So tonight, with pride, sensitivity, empathy, and Judaism, we again reaffirm that caring for the refugee is a core part of our Jewish way, and a part that we will not let go of no matter what. Shabbat Shalom.